Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live session. This is Sanya Shah here, and today's topic for the live session is for 485, that's temporary graduate work visa. So let's wait for a few more people to join us, and we'll just begin in 2 minutes. Hi, guys. We are just waiting for a few more applicants to join before we start the session. Yes, we can start now. So yes, welcome to the live session. So this live session is for you guys, and we at Aussizz Group are trying to cover each and every topic for you guys so that it becomes easier to understand the criteria and requirements for you people. And you can also ask a follow-up questions and answers in the QA session. So today's topic is 485 visa, that's a temporary graduate visa. So how this session will work is that I will give you a brief just regarding the 485 criteria and requirement. And after that, you can pop up your questions, you can ask your queries, and we can just solve it together. So the best, like as you are aware that 485 is the best time for you as a first step towards your permanent residency. And many people study their course and then they realize that I'm not eligible for the 485 visa. They get to know at the end. So it's important to know the criteria and requirements for the 485 visa because this is the best time to complete your professional year, job ready employment, or 1 year of experience or increase points. So you need to make the best out of this time. And so it is important to know the requirements. So 485 visa is generally for the international students who have recently graduated from the Australian institution, and it lets you live, work, and study in Australia temporarily as it is your first step towards your permanent residency. So this visa does not have it has no working condition or no study limitation. And now I'll just explain you the brief criteria regarding the 485 visas. And also, as you are aware that 485 has a lot of types currently. So many people are confused like which stream we should apply for after studying masters or after studying diploma. So let's make it easier. Let's go one by one. And so first, the normal criteria for all the 485 visas. So the first thing is I'll just share my screen so that it becomes easier for you. Just a minute. Sorry, guys, it's just. No worries, there's some technical glitch regarding sharing the screen. What we'll do, we'll just go ahead with discussing the criteria. The first thing is the age requirement, that is, you require to be 50 years or under to apply for the 485 visa. The second one is you must be a holder of an eligible visa, that is a student visa, or if you're not a holder of a student visa, and if you're holding a bridging A or bridging B, then your last student visa must have expired within the last 6 months. So to cut short, you must be on a student visa or a BBA or BBB, and your last student visa must have expired within the last 6 months. And also you must be a recent graduate and you must have met the Australian study requirement, which means that your course must be registered for 92 weeks and you must have completed your study over 16 calendar months in Australia. And your course, at the time you apply for the 485 visa, your course must have been completed within the last 6 months. And along with that, you need to meet the health requirement, the character requirements, and the English requirement. And also you can combine your member of family unit, that is your spouse or child, in your 485 visa. So this is general requirement for the 485. And now let's quickly discuss the types of 485 visa. So the first one is the graduate work stream. So this graduate work stream are for those applicants who have studied Certificate 3 trade qualifications or higher level study, like Cert 3, Certification 4, Diploma or Advanced Diploma. So if you have studied Cert 3 and or higher, you can apply for the 485 under the graduate work stream. Along with this, you require a skills assessment. That is, you need a qualification that is relevant to an occupation on the skills occupation list. So you need to nominate a skills assessment and your occupation must be under medium and long-term list. So for example, if someone has studied a Certification 4 in commercial cookery and along with that a diploma of hospitality. So they have to nominate the occupation chef and then they can apply for the graduate work stream 485. And currently the department has updated the grant period requirement, that is the 485 undergraduate work stream will only be granted for 18 months. Earlier it was 24 months, but now it has come back to 18 months. So also, as you require a skills assessment for the 485 graduate work stream, so the PSA outcome that is generally required for the job-ready employment, earlier as you required 360 hours to complete, but now the department has also waived the requirement and you just require to provide a provisional skills assessment. So this was the 485 graduate work stream. Now we'll come to the 485 post-study work stream. So for the 485 post-study work stream, you must have completed bachelor studies or higher. That means if you, for example, if you have studied bachelor's, master's, a PhD, or a doctoral degree, then you can apply under the post-study work stream. We have seen that in many cases, people who have studied bachelor's and master's, they by mistakenly apply in the wrong stream, that is graduate work stream. Because at the time of selection, there are a number of lists that has been come through. So if you have studied bachelor's or master's, then you have to select a post-study work stream. That's the correct stream. And along with this, the other requirements, like as I told you, English, health, and character, you need to meet it. Now, going forward, the third type is the 485 second post-study work stream. This is only available for the 485 under the post-study. That is, if you have completed your studies and if you have lived during your study duration in a designated regional area during your student visa, and after that you applied for a 485 visa, and also during that 485 visa you lived in the regional area, then you are eligible to apply for the second post-study work visa. So this is a 1-year extension if you have studied, lived and worked in certain cities and major regional centers such as Perth, Adelaide, Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, Newcastle, etc. You get a 1-year addition on top of your 485. At times, if you are living in postcodes such as regional centers, there are some designated postcodes which department has given. So for example, if you have studied, lived, and also worked during your whole 485 in this postcodes, then you're eligible for the 2-year extension. So coming back, if there are certain postcodes, if you live there, study there, you get a 1-year extension. However, there are certain postcodes in regional area. So if you study, live, and work there, then you're eligible for a 2-year extension. And the good thing is that you can include your members of family unit, that is your spouse and children, and there is no English requirement for the second post-study work visa. Now coming to the fourth type of 485, that is the 485 replacement stream. So this visa was it was introduced when people were affected because of COVID and they had to leave Australia because of COVID and they couldn't come back here because of the travel restriction. So they lost their time and some even were eligible but couldn't apply for the 485 because of this. So they introduced this visa and the deadline to apply for the 485 replacement visa is till 1st of January 2027. So to be eligible for this, you must hold a 485 visa as a primary applicant, or if you're holding a student visa, and if you held a 485 as well during the COVID time, that is between the 1st of February 2020 until 14th of December 2021. So if you have lost your time between this time, that is 1st of Feb 2020 till 14th of December 2021, then you are eligible to apply for the 485 replacement stream. You can also include your spouse or children, even if they were not included in your first 485 visa. So this becomes good. This becomes beneficial for those applicants who lost their time during COVID. And if they were outside Australia during the time frame of 1st Feb 2020 till 14th of December 2021, then they can apply for the 485 replacement stream. And also they can include their spouse or child if their relationship status has been changed. So at the time of application, you can be in or outside Australia, and also this visa can be granted if you are in or outside Australia. So this was the 485 replacement stream. Now the last one and the most demand one, which has been currently, is the 485 extension. Now for 485 extension, if the first requirement is you need to hold a 485 visa. And along with that, your qualification must be in the eligible qualification list. So department has released a list of eligible qualification list. So for example, if you're holding a 485 and if you have studied Masters of IT, which is there in the eligible qualification list, then you get an additional 2 years of working visa, that's 485 extension. So this is only specific to those applicants whose occupation is there in the eligible qualification list. So for example, earlier for master's people got 3 years of visa grant, and if their qualification is there in the list, then they will get an additional 2 years. The same way for bachelors, earlier they got 2 years, and if their qualification is in the list, then they will get an additional 2 years of visa. And the third one is for PhD students, they are getting an additional 2 years from 4 to 6 years. So this is a very good news for those people whose qualification is there in the occupation list, so that they can utilize this time to complete their professional year, to gain their experience, to increase their time, because as you know, that department is becoming quite competitive. So this is the best time that you utilize it and work towards your permanent residency. And also regarding this different streams, like we come across to many cases. For example, someone has studied a certificate 3 in cookery. They haven't studied cert 4, but they have studied cert 3. So they can only be eligible to apply as a cook. But cook comes under the short-term list, and then they cannot apply for the 485 graduate stream. So there are many things, many courses, if they study, they are not eligible for the 485. So you need to make sure that before enrolling to a course, whether it leads to you for the 485 pathway, and because that is the first step towards your permanent residency. So this was a quick discussion regarding the 485 visa, because our main purpose is to get a question and answer round for you guys, so that it becomes easier for you to understand the criteria and requirement. So you guys can drop in your questions and we can begin the question and answer. Yes, so we have received a question from Hussein. Hi, can you give more information about community support visa? So Hi, Hussain. Can you be more specific regarding community support visas? Like, for example, if you have studied diploma in community, are you talking about that aspect? You can just give like more information so that we can discuss it. We have received a question from Garima that, hi all, what would happen if my job conditions change after receiving 190 invite and waiting for nomination? I'm claiming 5 points for 1 year experience and also ROI based on this job. Our company is going through restructure and it is very likely my position and pay would change. Receiving. So Garima, if you have claimed 5 points and for that you have already worked 1 year in that company. So it's fine if you change your experience after that because you have already completed that 1 year of experience and you have claimed that 5 points for that. So it's no requirement that you have to continuously work in that occupation. You can change your experience on that basis. Next question is from Siraj. I will finish my automotive diploma next year, October. How long will I get temporary visa? Is it 2 years or 1.5 years? So Siraj, as I told that the department has updated the requirement. Earlier, they used to give 24 months for the graduate stream, but now it's only 18 months. So you have 18 months to complete your job ready employment. But however, there is also an update with JRE that you can complete your JRE on any visa right now. So it will be 18 months for in your case. So there's a question from Gagan. Is there any changes in EOI for Western Australia who applied after or before 1st of July? So Gagan, Western Australia has not like implemented any requirement that you have to lodge a new expression of interest in this financial year. However, the changes is same. You have to lodge an expression of interest and then you have to wait for their invitation round. Like you need to see that whether you're eligible under Schedule 1 or Schedule 2. However, the requirements are same, like for 190, you require a job contract. However, for occupations under building and industry sector, you don't require a job contract for 190. And as compared 491, you just need to move, once you're invited, you have to move to Western Australia. Now we have a question from from Smith. Can you please clarify whether during my temporary resident TR period, I resided in category 3 regional area? I'm uncertain about the duration of the grant if I apply for a regional extension for my TR. So Smith, as I told that there are two categories, for example, for 485 second post-study. So if you live for category 1 or 2, you only get 1 year of extension. However, if you live in category 3, you get 2 years of extension. So if you are confused whether which places comes under the category 3, then you can just go on the department website. There are some posts. They have given a list of postcodes that comes under category 3. And if you're still confused, you can contact us and we will guide you whether you are eligible for the 2 years extension or 1 year. We have a question from Nitesh. 85 points as a chemical engineer currently employed in WA. How good are my chances for 190? I saw there is a backlog of 300 submitted EOIs. So Nitesh, it depends on the Western, like as you know that Western Australia has very less number of seats as compared to last year. And also they are prioritizing more occupations under the building and industrial sector. So 85 points, yes, you can try increasing your points in Western Australia. However, they are going to give first priority to those under the building and industry sector. But you live in Western Australia, so your chances are also good, but you can try increasing your points. So we have a question from Sajid. I have done my bachelor's in mechanical engineering. Please give advice, mean which course I do master for best PR pathway or stay in master in mechanical. So hi Sajid, you have already studied bachelor's in mechanical engineering, so you can get a skills assessment on the basis of your bachelor's degree that is into mechanical engineer. Now, if you want to open a different pathway, you can study a master's in different engineering sector or in a different course, which will open a second option for you because you already can get a mechanical engineering through your bachelor's. So you can get you can get in connection with us and we will guide you if you would like to choose a different course pathway. So I'll just answer a few of the questions from here. Just a minute. So we have a question from Ashmita. Is architectural draft person eligible occupation for 485 extension? So Ashmita, it depends on the study. For example, what have you studied? Because architectural draft person is under the short-term list and it's not under the medium-term list. So to be eligible, I need to check your qualification, whether it is eligible for 485 extension, because 485 extension depends on the CRICO's code of your qualification. And if it matches with the qualification list, then yes, you're eligible for a 485 extension. So it's not specific to the occupation that you're studying, it's specific to the CRICO's code that you have already studied. So we have received a question from Ajay. Any chances with 1 year of experience in the IT industry as Salesforce administrator? So hi Ajay, it depends what is your occupation like. For example, your position is Salesforce admin, but however, the duties might align to IT support engineer or systems administrator. So we need to see the position description, the actual work that you do, and we need to see whether it aligns to the ENSA scope code that we have nominated. So the title doesn't matter, but the position description that you work actually, that matters, that needs to align with the ENSA scope code. So we have received a question from Garima, do I need to change ROI after invite if position and pay have changed? So Garima, if you have already been invited last year by Victoria, and if your nomination has not been approved, then you do not have to make any changes. However, if you have not been invited and your pay has been changed, then yes, you need to withdraw your previous ROI and you need to lodge a new registration of interest in this financial year. So we have received a question from Wasim. 491 just granted, want to go overseas for 4 months. Can I stay overseas that long? So Wasim, the condition for 491 is that in those 5 years, you have to live and work for 3 years out of it. So there is no such condition that you cannot be overseas for such long. However, your commitment should be towards the regional body and the state which has invited you. So your ties, your commitments, your employment, your residency, everything should be committed to that state. So question from Malik, 75 points, engineering technologies, NSW, what are the chances? Malik, as you know that this year the allocations are quite less as compared to the last financial year. So it would be recommendable that you increase your points because it would be quite competitive. Last year, we had seen engineering technologies getting invited at 80-85 points. However, this year we expect at a higher point. So it would be advisable to increase your points. And you can also try for 491 NSW once the requirements are out. Question from Maninda. I have applied EOI for motor mechanic with 70 points won for 189, 190, 491, respectively for Victoria and Western Australia. My TR is expiring in January if I didn't get invite, so I'm thinking to take admission and study. Which course is good for PR prospect? Hi Maninda, you can contact us because we can give you a detailed discussion regarding which course you can go ahead for your student visa and also for your career pathway. You can contact us and we can have a discussion over there. Got a question from Baburam. My question is, which graduate stream do I eligible for, as my first student visa was granted before 5th November 2011. I returned to overseas without applying for TR. And currently I completed my PhD. So Baburam, we just need to see whether you had already previously applied for a TR or no, because your first student visa was granted before 2011, and there is a requirement that you cannot apply for a TR if you held a student visa before 2011. So you can contact us to discuss further options in detail. Got a question from Adarsh. Do I need to register in NMAC after registration in AFRA as enrolled nurse from Sweden? So Adarsh, if you are an enrolled nurse, overseas nurse, you have to get a registration in AFRA. Once you get a registration in AFRA, that is your skills assessment for your PR pathway. So you need to clear the NCLEX examination and the step 2, that's the OAC in Australia. So question from Maya, need explain about the recent update in Victoria. So Mayank, recent update, like today, Victoria has updated their state nomination requirements. So the changes, the requirements are quite similar as compared to last year. Only for 491, they have updated that you have to live and work in regional Victoria itself. For 190, the requirements is same. However, they just have asked you like if there is any update in your situation, then you need to withdraw your previous ROI and have to submit a new one. But if there are no updates, then you can use the previous ROI itself. And also there is no work requirement. However, they will give more priority to applicants with higher points, superior English, more experience in the nominated occupation, and so on. We got a question from RD. While lodging an extension for my 485, can I upload previous IELTS score report? So RD, we don't require English report for 485 extension. For 485 extension, what you require is your passport, your qualification documents, your current health insurance policy. So no police check, no health requirement if you're lodging it onshore, and no English requirement. So we got a question from sorry, I'm just going through the questions. Got a question from Raghu. Can I upload previously uploaded IELTS scorecard for my 485 extension? So yes, Raghu, as previously said, that for 485 extension, you don't require any English score to be updated. So it's just your passport, your qualification, and health policy, and you don't require your English score again for 485 extension. So guys, you can pop your questions and we can answer it together. We got a question from Gagan. Can you tell me about partner visa? Gagan, you can contact us because it will be a detailed consultation regarding the requirements about it. Question from IDK. I've done my bachelor's in civil engineering. I want to do master's. So first of all, are you offshore? Because, and also if you are offshore, you can go with two pathways. That is, you have done already your bachelor's, so you can get a skill assessment on the basis of your civil engineering degree. And if you would like to go ahead with the student visa pathway, we can assist you. You can contact us. Question from Salam, which is the good regional places to study and part-time work in Australia, and how can I apply? So Salam, there is no such good regional places like in Australia. If you are talking in respective to PR pathways, you can go you can move to Western Australia, Adelaide, Victoria, where they have good requirements for the graduate work stream, and you can also work there part-time during your student visa. And also you, as I mentioned, that if you study from a regional area and if you work in the regional area during your 485 time, then you are also eligible to apply for an extension from that regional area. So you can look at that aspect, like Western Australia prioritize construction-based industry, then Victoria prioritize health sectors. And so you need to see what your career aspect is, and then we can decide which one is the good place for you to study. Question from Arash, is it better to be onshore or offshore to apply for skilled migrant visa? I have visitor visa of 1 year. So Arash, it depends like which occupation you are applying for and how much points you are, because last financial year we saw that many offshore applicants also received invitations at the same points where the onshore applicants had. So for example, if you have a skill assessment from offshore and also if you are at good points, then yes, you can apply for an offshore pathway as well. So there are different requirements of onshore and offshore. But however, certain states doesn't consider you onshore if you're on a visitor visa like NSW. Question from Amir, what is the eligibility criteria for 485 extension? So Amir, the eligibility criteria is you just need to take care. The first one, that you need to be on a 485 visa that is under post-study work stream. And the second, your qualification must be listed in the eligible qualification list. So if these two criteria are meeting, then yes, you're eligible for the 485 extension. What we have come across, like many people, those who have already applied for 485 and their qualification is in the list. However, previously they applied the 485 under the graduate work stream. So if you have applied under the graduate work stream, then you are not eligible for the 485 extension. So you need to double check that under which stream you had applied it previously, and then you have to go forward. Question from Murgendra, 80 points ICT, what are the chances? Murgendra, we need to see whether which state you are living currently. For example, if you're living in NSW, each and every state has become quite competitive because of the less number of allocations. So we would advise you to increase your points. However, ICT in NSW, Victoria, at 80, last year we had seen people getting invitations at 85 points, 85, 90 points. So you can increase your points with the number of allocations. You can try to increase it because it's quite competitive. Sorry guys, if I have missed any of your questions, you can leave your comment and we'll get back to you. So we have got a question from Mahendra. Can I get direct work permit on 476 visa? So Mahendra, we just need to see whether the qualification you have studied back in overseas is Washington accredited according to 476 visa. So 476 visa is something, for example, if someone has studied Bachelors of Civil Engineering and their course is accredited with Washington Accord, then they can get a direct work visa for 2 years in Australia. So they can directly come on that. So we need to check whether your course that you had studied is accredited or not. And we have got a question from Priyanka that I have studied Diploma of Nursing. Can I get a 485 visa? So Priyanka, sorry, like if earlier before 1st of July, it was possible to apply for TR, but however, after 1st of July 2023, those who have studied Diploma of Nursing, Diploma of Community Workers are not eligible to apply for a 485 undergraduate work stream. As I told, under the graduate work stream, you require to nominate an occupation under the medium term. So what you can do, you can study bachelor's, you can get credits from your diploma, study bachelor's, complete that, and then apply for a 485 post-study work stream. We have got a question from Dhaval. I have 80 points without state sponsorship as mechanical engineer. How are my chances this year? Dhaval, as discussed earlier, that this year the seat allocation is quite less, and so the competition would be very high. So it would be advisable for you to increase your points as much as possible. And we'll get to know once the invitation rounds are out, and we can let you know the insights like regarding at what points people are getting invited. But we could see that it will be invited at very high points at the start. Question from Hussein. I am citizen of Australia and I want to sponsor my family, and which visa should I apply for them? So hi Hussein, if you're a citizen of Australia and if you want to sponsor your family, so do you mean your spouse or do you mean your parents? So for example, if it's a spouse, then you can apply for a partner visa if you are married or in a de facto relation. And if it's parents, then you can apply for parents visa and we can have a consultation regarding its eligibility. Question from Malik. Ma'am, can I change my course from bachelor's to trade course carpentry? Would that affect in my extension? So Malik, as you have already enrolled in a bachelor's course, you will be downgrading your course to trade course, which will affect your student visa condition as you're not allowed to do so. So your student visa would be at risk with that downgrading of your course from bachelor's to trade. So you can contact us and we can guide you whether it would affect your extension. We got a question from Nikki. What about the 408 visa? So for 408 visa, Nikki, like they have stopped the 408 visa for they have closed the 408 visa for everyone that after 2nd of September 2023. So for example, if you already hold a 408 and if you would like to apply for a 408 extension, you are still eligible. However, if you hold a student PR or any other visa, then you're not eligible to apply for a 408 visa. So got a question from Malik, or I need to apply for a new visa after change from bachelor to trade course. Yes, Malik, you need to apply for a new visa after change from bachelor to trade. However, you can contact us and we can guide you properly how to go forward with it. Sorry guys, if I've missed, I've got many questions on Instagram. So we got a question from Michael, why there is a big delay in granting visa. I have been waiting for more than 8 months for my 190 grant. So Michael, currently department is clearing of their backlog from the last financial year, as they have mentioned that they had invited a lot of applicants and they are just clearing of their backlog. So there is a processing time that they have published it. However, there are many applicants who have crossed that processing time and still waiting for the visa. So they are trying to get it done as soon as possible. That is why they have given less number of allocations this year. So hopefully you get your visa very soon, but there has been a big backlog delay from their end. Hi Malik, you can contact us and we'll able to guide you further. So guys, thank you for joining in this live session. If I have missed any of your questions, you can drop in your question, drop your comment and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.